Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another live streamed session of our Suzerain DESPOT playthrough. Looking really forward to how some of our decisions from last time play out. I was actually thinking about this over the course of the last week or so, and it is funny to me that we were almost like we weren't instant, but we were almost instantly on board with committing genocide in our not despot run, and then in our despot run, when that conversation came up last week, I was hemming and hawing, and I was like thinking about that over the course of this past week, and I was like, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? Anyways, on the topic of committing genocide, I hope y'all are having a wonderful Friday and have had a wonderful week behind you. Oh my god, this must be one of the darker intros I've done for a live stream on this channel. It's been quite the week for me, folks. I think I have collectively over the last 5 days, like maybe, if I'm stretching it, 20 hours of sleep, more like 15, so I might be a little fuzzy today, but it's going to be a fantastic time, regardless of that fuzziness being around or not. How is everybody doing, though, for real? Jokes aside, I do hope you've had a wonderful week behind you. I hope you have a wonderful Friday and weekend ahead of you as well. A warm welcome to Omkar J, Ren, K, Percy, Jazzy B, Ted Knight. We have with us Classify. We've got with us Akshim James, Frog, Halthor, Keith, and Beast Orpher. How y'all doing? Halthor, all good. I hope I'll probably be lurking in the background with volume low. Desperately need a nap. All right, sounds. I feel you, bud. But sounds good. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. And I hope you are able to catch some of those Z's, buddy. I hope you're able to catch some of those Z's. Keith says, just here to say Suzerain instead of Suzerain, and I'm out. Peace. All right, gotta go back to bed. Sounds good. Thanks for coming through and dropping that on us. Enjoy the rest, bud. Enjoy the rest. And yes, I am Jazzy V. I was like, why did Disco Elysium come up? Look, I don't think we're gonna die this session. I think I think we'll make at least a couple more sessions. I was actually wondering if we'd even make it to 10 sessions, like 10 episodes before we got assassinated or something, but we made it. I think we'll make it a couple more. But yes, just to be clear, after this playthrough of Suzerain, I'm thinking of hopping on to Disco Elysium and checking that out, because I've wanted to check that out forever, and I think it's right up my alley, and everything I've heard about it, I've only heard good things about it, so I'm really excited to do that. Will there be Warhammer 3 streams? Maybe during the pre-release stuff, which, I mean, who knows when that'll be now. The funny thing about Total War, I don't know why. The funny thing about Total War is whenever I stream it, I play a lot worse when I'm streaming it. And I think the reason for that is because every time there's a battle, and you have to, I don't pause during battles, right? So you have to, focus for that 5, 10, however many minutes of battle. And I think this is the reason. I always in the back of my head have this nagging voice being like, hey, you're ignoring chat right now, you know. This isn't entertaining, or you know, whatever, however it manifests itself. And I think that gets in the way of my decision making, and then I perform worse. If you watch any of my campaigns where I live streamed, and I've done it a couple times, I perform significantly worse than if I'm you know, sort of focused and playing. And it's only with Total War. And the only reason I can think of for that is that, where you know, in the middle of a battle or whatever, I prefer not to pause. I like the challenge of not pausing and stuff like that. But yeah, so there might be some stuff pre-released. You know, I might do unit overviews and you know, hey, let's check this stuff out together. It really depends on how they plan on giving access and things like that. But I mean, that's not a conversation we'll be having until early next year, considering the delay they announced last time. There is an Age of Empires 4 technical test. Yeah, I'll see if I can dive in on that. Honestly, I've got so much going on right now already. As much as I do want to cover Age of Empires 4 on the channel, I don't know if I can do that this weekend, and it's only running this weekend, that AoE 4 beta, and I don't think I'll be able to squeeze it in, which really sucks. But it's a technical test, so it'll be, you know, buggy and stuff like that as well. But I'll see what I can do. But Age of Empires 4 will definitely be on the channel when it you know, when the time comes. I'll be covering it for sure. I mean, one of the many games I grew up on was, of course, Age of Empires. So I'm not gonna ignore Age of Empires 4 unless it turns out to be not that great. In which case I'll mention that, I'll do a review, and then you might not see it again. Maybe you'll see Age of Empires 2 back on the channel or something. But alright, folks, I actually need a quick sip of water because I'm dying already, and we'll dive in. Let's go ahead and hit that resume. We're about to enter the next chapter as well. We left things on a very interesting sort of turning point last time. I see a request for a quick recap. That's definitely en route. We also have the news to read, which will help freshen my mind up as well a little bit. Just a quick question, folks. Just want to check to make sure that the audio is coming through okay, that the volumes are all right. Again, it's something I'm still nailing my mic location and stuff like that. Just want to make sure I'm sounding okay and the music's not too loud, because it sounded a little loud in the menu. Spindle, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it. Having a good one, I hope, bud. Exciting weekend ahead of you. Is it time for the weekend already over there? I imagine so, right? You're like, it's like, oh no, I guess it's like 4 p.m. When does work end for you? And Sam Hampton, oh, giving a little recap there. How's it going, buddy? Sarab Sarkar, how goes? Yeah, I really hope that, oh, no, Sarab, no. I really hope you're talking about moving soldiers around. Jesus. Actually, I jokes aside, for reasons of pure commerce, I do hope this railway gets done like as soon as I hit continue, because I could really use the boost to the economy. So what happened last time? I mean, there were a couple of major steps. One misstep, one step. Let's call it one step backwards, one step forward. We flew all the way to Agnolia to have a conversation with our counterpart, and literally, like, the I don't know, 20th word out of his mouth was, yeah, we're not going to have a deal here. Like, there was no conversation. There was absolutely no, like, even pretending. Oh, okay, no, that's a lie. There was a lot of pretending that we were still buddy-buddy. And we told him to spit on it and sit on it and left him hanging. He was basically like, yeah, there's not going to be a deal. Oh, but you're still going to go through with all the, all the fancy, like, dinners and stuff, right? And then obviously I was like, no, I'm not going to waste my time over here. I already spent God knows how long flying over here, going through your whole photo op, and then sitting down with you only to have you spit in my face. So, no, get lost. So we left, and our potential for having a friend in Agnolia went, fluttering away, basically. And then shortly thereafter, we flew over to Wellin, where we... Omkar, you can add one, I think, rather safely to the death toll. You can almost certainly add another one to the death toll, because when they unveiled the statue of our counterpart down at Wellin, we literally were just like, yeah, we've got better artists back in Sordland, and Buddy had the statue covered up, like, it's from the writing, it sounded like it was clearly from, like, embarrassment. So that sculptor is definitely dead. He's definitely dead, right? Poor guy. But yeah, that happened, and ultimately we ended up signing on with the plan from Wellin. We did try to push back a little bit, so our involvement with the with his attempts at extermination are purely sort of border guard purposes, and I'm sure there'll be consequences with regards to that, but we'll cross those bridges when we get to them, right? And the other major thing that happened last session as well was a push to end the emergency status, and we pushed back. We managed to sort of quell those voices, as loud as they were, and we managed to keep the emergency powers intact, keep the state of emergency ongoing, and basically, if the assembly wants to, end the state of emergency, they need to have a supermajority. They need 2/3 of the votes. And so as long as we can keep that shut down, we'll be good. There was also talk of taking this to the Supreme Court, because our, what's his name, the PFJP head, Franz Richter, he was being very belligerent, and he insists that he's going to take this, to the courts and things like that. And obviously, Mr. Hawker, Chief Justice, is a buddy of ours, so hopefully he'll... he says that he can keep this going, no problem, so hopefully he'll hold up his end of the bargain, and we'll be able to protect Sordland from those that would hurt it, from outside and from within. Hopefully that bridge is not on the Sordland-Wellin border. Yeah, God, I should hope not. I should hope not. Vlatko Dojcinovsky, thank you very much for subscribing. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly, but thank you for subscribing, buddy. If you're having a good time, and this goes for everybody, if you're having a good time, don't hesitate to let me know by hitting that like button down below, folks. Again, it makes such a massive difference to what I do on the channel. Oh my god, sorry. I read Halthor's little statement there. That's goddamn priceless. I need to save that for later. All those no's made me feel like I was on a first date. Oh my god, Halthor. Oh my god. Drastic time. How's it going, buddy? Will there be a new Mount and Blade 2? Yeah, Bannerlord will definitely be coming back on the channel. There's a couple other things I want to do. First, I also need to cleanse my mind of all the attachments and baggage from that first 180 episode playthrough. I have some plans. I might wait for the next big update. I feel like that's a good time to dive in, but I have some other plans I want to dabble in before I get back into Bannerlord. But I want to get all the humankind stuff happening. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. But don't worry, Bannerlord will be back on the channel. Just waiting for a good time to dive in. Also still researching some mod opportunities that I might want to check out. 20,337, that's our death toll. Damn, nice. Don't forget Mr. Leak practically calling for a civil war. Ah, yes, Ted Knight, excellent point. Also, how's it going, buddy? Yes, Mr. Leak, Monsoon Leak. It's kind of funny, actually. Our name's Rain, his name's Monsoon. Come on. He was straight up, he was basically, yeah, doing a call to arms. If that meeting of the assembly was televised, then we would be having renewed riots across the nation. Based on his words alone, he was basically calling for an armed, for a violent revolution. Yeah, absolutely, and that really just kind of further compounds the issue and our point, really. Taking a quick look, making sure I didn't miss anything over here. All working good here. Audio's good. Audio's good. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Excellent. All right, cool. I'll cut up. Just want to make sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at the event over here at Suzerain, and then we'll deal with the newspapers as well. Also, I see your clips in the Suzerain channel in the Discord. Me sighing at the radical. I love it. I'm so glad YouTube finally does clips, because moments will go by sometimes, right? After a stream or after a couple days, I'll forget, and I'll come across these clips being shared. And it's like, yeah, that's good times. So thank you. All right, what do we got over here? Border report. Defense Minister Josef Lancea reports that the Welland borders have been closed and the divisions of the Third Army are ready for the operation. Okay. Dark and ominous, especially with this music in the background. I believe that's all the updates. And let's go ahead and take a look at the news. I really hope the railway gets done, because that economy is not looking too hot. Not looking too hot. Spindle, there you are. Yeah, I was right. You came through and then went quiet. Yeah, I guess U2 was acting up for you? Halthor, he may drizzle, but we pour. Oh, dear Lord. The Hall Sword Post, let's start with you. Oh, this is weird. It was all the way down over here. All these events happened weeks ago, in-game weeks ago. In real life weeks ago. Also in-game weeks ago. So this is kind of funny. Emergency debate in the Assembly. Swordish lawmakers debated the ending of the country's state of emergency in a 6-hour session earlier today, which was also attended by President Rain. The leader of the PFJP, Franz Richter, proposed the revocation of the emergency decree, but the proposal was rejected by 2/3 majority vote in the Grand National Assembly. Following the vote, the PFJP protested the decision of the Grand National Assembly and blamed President Rain for using presidential decrees without consulting the opposition. Richter also stated that he will be applying directly to the Supreme Court for the revocation of the decree after a proper judicial review, which he believes was unconstitutional from the very beginning. Yeah, keep yammering, buddy, keep yammering. P didn't talk about the Strudel event. Oh, yes, the Strudel event. I mean, yeah, and the puppy insult. I guess when I do a recap, I kind of keep it as a general overview. But we did give our Agnolian counterpart a puppy as a gift, and him being afraid of dogs was on full display. So at least we got our punches in as well. That was in response to him leaving us hanging at the airport, though. And then, yes, there was the man at Welland who gave us strudels, and we were going to allow, what's his name, Smolak to pay for it, but he didn't, and so we all just kind of awkwardly walked away. And I guess he gets to keep his life at least. But yeah, there were strudels. There was a strudel-related joke that's slipping my mind right now, though. Swordish steel, Swordish statues, Swordish strudel. Oh my god. Say that 5 times real fast. Also, that's an excellent campaign slogan. Swordish slogans. Yikes. Swordish puppies will bring fear to the enemy. Puppygate. Ah, I love it. Oh, dear lord. The strudel is better in Sordland. I wish that was an option. The strudel, yeah, the strudel is better in Sordland. Oh my god, that was a good. The statue moment was a solid yikes. Supreme Court to decide the legality of the emergency. Oh, back me up on this, buddy. Franz Richter of the PFJP has filed a complaint and demanded a judicial review of the emergency decrees, which were signed by President Rain earlier in the year. President Rain has faced criticism over its controversial emergency decrees that has sparked a heated debate in the Grand National Assembly, with lawmakers raising concerns over the rule of law in the country, press freedom, and Rain's indefinite mandate. Words. It is uncertain if the Supreme Court will take the case or the decision it would take if it were to accept it. Supreme Court Justice Isabel Edmonds, however, said that the court has to conduct a proper judicial review, which was due but was earlier ignored. Chief Justice Hawker hasn't released any statements yet. Oh, here we go. I mean, it's never a done deal, though. It's never a done deal, right? Yes, we have a deal with Chief Justice Hawker, but not the entire, not all the justices necessarily agree. And even though Chief Justice Hawker is the Chief Justice, I'm pretty sure something like this comes down to a vote, right? So, Mr. Hawker better pull the right strings over here. All right, here we go. Dealing with the radical again. What do you want? Richter, oh my god, this thing's like, I gotta scroll for this one. Richter, no decree can give you the power to destroy ideas. Oh my god, what a chump. That's a sound bite, you know it. The Grand National Assembly of Sordland debated the revocation of the state of emergency among protests from the USP and President Rain. The proposal made by the PFJP was rejected due to the laws requiring a 2/3 majority to revoke the state of emergency declared by the President, despite achieving a simple majority in the Assembly. No decree can give you the power to destroy ideas which are eternal and indestructible, said Richter to President Rain, blaming the president for pushing Sordland into authoritarianism once again. So the press was there? Are you kidding me right now? The press was there when Monsoon said, hey, let's have a violent revolution, and nobody wants to report on that? Nobody wants to talk about that? The state of emergency was imposed in the country to confront the political violence that surrounded the nation after the death of Circus, and was followed by controversial actions of the police forces that gave the ruling United Sordland Party sweeping powers to silence the opposition. Richter stated that the emergency decree was illegal, explaining that the Constitution only allows an emergency to be declared in case of being under invasion. Do any of you see any Rumbergian tanks in Sordland? Are we under bombardment? There's nobody attacking but the state. They are persecuting thousands of innocents under national security threats. Who will stop the president from prosecuting all who oppose him tomorrow? Said Richter during the assembly session. No, radicals full of crap, man. This is all nonsense. This is all nonsense. Look at that. Not one mention of Monsoon Leak and his the very real, invasion from inside that is happening to beautiful Sordland. The fall of our nation, is beckoning. And some of these people are taking the bait. Spindle, my weekend has started. Said it earlier, but chat was being... On the topic of chat being dumb, looks like that's not the only thing being dumb, eh? God damn it. It's annoying. It's an annoying thing with the Streamlabs crashing because I can only test it. I can only test it when I'm actually live, because who knows how long it'll work for before it starts to not work. And now Suzerain's acting up as well and not showing up. Come on, buddy, work with me here. Why you gotta do this? I just want to stream for people and have a good time and hang out and play video games. And... Alright, I'm gonna give it a second. Yeah, that really didn't take long. Today was less than 30 minutes. Whereas on, what was it? On Monday, it lasted at least an hour first. Come on, buddy. I really don't understand. And Suzerain's the only game that doesn't boot back, come back on screen afterwards. It's the Bloods again already. Leak is to blame. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's exactly what I'm talking about. I wonder if I have to, relaunch Suzerain. this time. It's just being so obstinate. All right, hang in there, folks. Hang in there. I'm gonna relaunch. I'm gonna relaunch Suzerain. Yeah, let's go ahead and exit that, I guess. All right, fair enough. Sorry about this, folks. I mean, I'm not sure why Streamlabs has been acting up lately. There's no new update or anything I can do. I'm gonna try and do another like fresh reinstall over this weekend, and see if that takes us to where we need to go. Hopefully. That is, yeah, YouTube's weird like that. So Mohammed Haikal has actually been a member for 4 months. So not a new member, but a long-term member, a re-member, if you will. A renewed membership, perhaps, is the more normal way to say it. But yes, thank you, Mohammed Haikal, and for everybody who's been supporting, over and over again, month after month. I do wish YouTube would like mention it separately, like just to make it clear, because on Twitch, for example, you get subs and resubs, and it kind of like lets everybody know how long someone's been supporting the channel for. I wish they had that kind of stuff. But YouTube, I'm sure, will be working on improving their streaming stuff, especially after what's happened recently with YouTube Gaming getting a lot of streamers and stuff on board. All right, yeah, no, flags are always welcome. There's no reason not to throw up those banners. I will never complain about that. Let me actually get a quick pinned comment in here. If the stream suddenly dies for you, it's because Streamlabs crashed. Hang in there. There you go. We'll be back. And I just want to get that pinned at the top, just so that, I don't have to explain it every time. I guess I always feel bad about it, and hopefully it'll make the experience a bit smoother. Did that pin? Doesn't, yeah, it pinned. Okay, cool. Sorry, folks, again. What are we looking at? Right. Geopolitico. I love it. I love it, Ren. So much for... Wait, sorry. What's that, K. Percy? What's that in reference to? It's the Bloods again. I'm very excited for the Humankind Forging India series. Yeah, that's been going fun. The next episode will be releasing shortly after the stream today. About an hour after the stream today, give or take. And yeah, Spindle, yeah, Streamlabs acting up again. Richter wants war. Give him one. Send him to the front lines. Yeah, for real, eh? We should send him... We should have, signed on for a full-fledged operation with the Operation Bear Trap, and then we could say, hey, look, there is war. Nah, Streamlabs is excellent. I've been using Streamlabs for the last... well, at least Streamlabs OBS. I don't know about everything else. I use their services for the last, 2 years now? Consistently. This is the only time they've been acting up consistently instead, so I really do hope that I can sort it out soon, because it's a very convenient tool. It works really nicely, actually. It's just this week, or this last couple months, it's been terrible. I guess this month. I've only restarted streaming in September, right? Yeah. Walker warns Volslandian Navy over Helgeland dispute. The tensions between Agnolia and Volsland keep climbing. The latest addition to the escalations happened yesterday on the Volgoslavian Channel, when the Volkslandian ships started advancing on the perimeter around the island. According to the Agnolian sources, yesterday in the morning, the Agnolian battleship Van Gilben A387 had intercepted a Volkslandian destroyer, Stanison, and warned them to move out of Agnolian waters. The Volkslandian captain did not respond to the communication, but both ships backed away from the scene after several hours of standstill. Seeing this event as Volksland putting pressure over the island, Arcasian President Dwight Walker warned the Volkslandian Navy, saying, "We will not tolerate any attempts to trigger an incident on international waters. I call upon Mr. Hegel. Pull back your ships immediately." Okay, so what's happened here is, again, there's this little island over here, right? Helgiport, this disputed territory. Volksland moves its ships in. Agnolia doesn't like it. A little bit back and forth, and then Dwight Walker, who is the president of Arcasia, which is the sort of U.S. allegory in this game, kind of steps in and says, "Hey, cool it, Volksland," because again, just as a reminder, Volksland is buddy with the sort of Soviet allegory in this game. So there's that little tension going on. Okay, Percy says, "Oh yeah, I mean it's all Oh, I see. Yes, okay. I see what you're getting at. My bad. Sorry, my brain's still turning on. So my apologies for the slowness on my part there. Hegel's shoe says no. Wow, there's a reference. There's a reference. Halthor, just noticed the other day that I've been a paladin for a year and 9 days. You missed the cake. We should get you some cake. Over a year, buddy. That is wild. I mean, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Words don't do it justice how much I appreciate the support that y'all give. It really is something special. And just thank you so much. And yeah, happy I guess. Anniversary, that's what I'm looking for, Halthor. I was like, there's a word for this. There's a word for this. All right, news dealt with, current events dealt with. Let's move on to the next chapter. Please let that wealth include us. I started begging before the title came up, but I feel like it's relevant and it works. Come on, baby. Come on, get that railway done. Get that railway done. Come on. God damn it. I was really hoping the first thing we'd see was the railway complete. At least the economy is doing the same as it was before, and the budget, things aren't dropping, so at least there's that. I was waiting for like a Black Tuesday kind of an event and losing all of our money. Van Horten wins elections. Damn. I forgot there was a chance that he might not. Taking a look at chat real quick. Oh yeah, I definitely haven't got enough sleep. not at all. NCJ 700 also a member for 2 months. I guess a lot of people became members around this time of the month. I don't even know if Van Horten can lose, says Jazzy B. I don't know. I wonder if there's some. I mean, we did basically embarrass him as much as possible. I think maybe if the trade deal. If you're able to negotiate a trade deal where he still loses, I think then maybe. But I don't know actually, because we did embarrass him a fair bit. But I don't think anybody cares. General elections held in Agnolia this week had resulted in the victory of the Unrest Democratic Union of Agnolia for the second time, with its leader Martin Van Horten continuing his duties as Prime Minister. I think the other thing that's worth noting is that the people in Agnolia don't really like us. So in fact, us embarrassing Van Horten maybe actually gained him some points, truth be told. Maybe actually we did him a favor. What does the news have to say? We got the Lockhaven Times and of course the Radical. They always have something to say. Health requires more resources. The latest report coming out of the Ministry of Health regarding the current situation and the need for privatization raises serious questions about the gargantuan scale of effort required to solve the structural issues of health in Sordland. One part of the report about the threat of a potential epidemic being real stands out as it highlights the problem of the current voluntary vaccination policy. Minister Benawal has increased his calls for more financial resources to be able to make more changes to that's a funny typo. More changes to welfare within one term to cover existential issues like epidemic prevention. I'm having an existential crisis right now. Every time they say demic, because we're not going through an epidemic, we're going through a pandemic, and voluntary vaccination, I'm going through an existential crisis myself. The report on the potential effects of privatization also included the downsides of what damage private interests could do inside the system of healthcare. However, the ministry pointed out that a small-scale implementation, the one it proposes, would be able to deliver efficient results. I mean, that's what we're hoping for, right? We're hoping for that efficient privatization. Let's try to avoid modern-day politics in chat, please. Yes, thank you. Let's step away from modern politics. It will, yeah. That's all I got to say to it. I got nothing to add. Epidemic, more like epidemic. Ooh. You know what? I like it. We could do the same thing with pandemic. Pandemic. Oh dear Lord. Why is it so easy? The Radical. Well, it's only easy because you offered it up, Jazzy V. Good spot. Good spot. I love it. The hidden power of men in uniform. What is this, a romantic column? No political leader in Sordland can survive in office without some support from the general staff. President Artur Whiskey was a leader who learned this lesson the hard way. In 1927, a military coup brought an end to his short time as president, and later President Alfonso became a target of alleged conspiracies by the Old Guard, who are known to be very close to the general staff of the Sordish armed forces. Though nowadays fewer officers assume the role of political leaders, military influence continues to have major repercussions in politics across eastern Maricopa. According to a report by the Alliance of Nations, Sordland has one of the most influential militaries in the region, coming just behind Welland, where the actions of the generals indicate serious military interference in politics. As the reports show, men in uniform still enjoy considerable influence on politics of Sordland, and nothing is being done to reverse the situation despite the country's history of coups and civil war. Hey, I'd be more than happy to sign on something that prevents the next coup from happening, trust me. But, I was on board for once with the Radical right up until they started talking all this smack about our military. Like, come on. Be proud of the defenders of the nation, right? Stand with them. Foolish Radical. Now translate to Swordish. Where did that come from? Oh my God, Sam. I know you're kidding, but I'm not even going to go there. We're about to head into another, well, not necessarily, but we're going to head into another wave in Ontario, and I'm not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it. Easily avoidable. But I need another sip of water, folks. I am losing my voice already. Yeah, I know. The Radical was weird for the first, 2.5 paragraphs that time, right? Sounds like the next investigation will be aimed at the Radical. Yeah, maybe. I hope the military takes it upon themselves to investigate the Radical themselves. Those are some fighting words, saying the military should have less influence in our policies. Who's the one that defends our policies when push comes to shove, right? Oh, yes! Yes! It's happening. The opening of the L1 railway. It's happening. What are the chances? I didn't think that was actually going to work out. All right, let's read some of these reports first, and then we'll deal with this. I assume we're going to go on a train ride or something. And it looks like Josef Lancea wants to meet as well. All right. Marcelo Melo, thank you very much for subscribing. I hope I pronounced that correctly, or is it Marcello Milo or Marcelo Milo? Let me know if you're in chat. But thank you very much for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying the show, buddy. And again, folks, if you are enjoying the show, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Hit that like button like we're about to, I don't know, hit the tracks, I guess. Sure, why not? I'll come up with something better down the line, when my brain's up and running fully. Privatization plan proposal. So this is going to be, I feel like this chapter is going to focus on executing those health and education changes that we were sort of discussing a couple of sessions ago now, how we want to introduce privatization to both healthcare and education. Melbourne is in lockdown number 6. Oh my God. I don't know how many lockdowns we've had in Ontario, but we've had a few. I think we've had 2 or 3. But we're going in for, I imagine we're getting a 4th wave, and I think they're trying to avoid a lockdown by introducing, what's it called? Not going to use the new term. I'm going to use the old term that we've always had, immunization records, right? Introducing that as a way to make sure that the flow of traffic and stuff is a bit more controlled. So hopefully we avoid a 4th wave. But man, I'm about ready for this to be done. I was supposed to be getting married in 2-3 weeks, and now I was supposed to be getting married a year ago 2-3 weeks, and then now in 2-3 weeks, and now a year plus 2-3 weeks. So am I bitter? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Privatization plan proposal. The Ministry of Health has finished a privatization proposal plan in order to increase the resources of the health system and to increase the quality of services through small-scale market competition. Additionally, the ministry's report highlighted the weaknesses Sordland has when it comes to a potential epidemic. Minister Benawal reported that much more could be achieved through the healthcare system if the private sector could slightly assist by generating new revenue streams and adding new services. Okay, if the private industry can help us prevent an epidemic, that'd be great. I was a little worried that we would have some major gaps in our healthcare system, but I do wonder what it would cost us. There has to be a cost to privatization, right? I feel like it'll be worse because it won't be as accessible, healthcare. Vaccination maybe won't be as accessible either. I don't know. We'll see how it comes through, how it plays out. Ministry of Justice files Erzin versus Sordland concurrence. The Ministry of Justice has reviewed the Erzin versus Sordland case and put forward its concurrence opinion before sending the dispute to the Supreme Court. If anybody can educate me on what a concurrence opinion is, please let me know. I'm not familiar with that terminology. Concurrence opinion. That's new to me. The Vice Minister of Justice came forward agreeing with the case of Ishval Erzin and pointed out that a majority court dissent would do disservice to the legal precedent of future constitutional rights cases. The case is now in the hands of the Supreme Court. So Ishaval Urson, if I recall correctly, he's a major figure for the Bloods, I believe. I believe so. Yeah, we've had pretty long ones. We had one extremely long one, Sam. That sounds wild, though. I do hope you guys see some respite sometime soon. Redacted says, I like your content, but this game was a massive disappointment when I played it. It's like you choose your own adventure story without anything actually interesting happening. Whoa! I mean, that's fair. I understand if it's not your like speed of game, or if it's not your preferred like topic of game. It is very like deeply immersed in like politicking and that kind of stuff, and backroom deals and that kind of stuff, which again I personally love, and a lot of people do, but again a lot of people don't. For a lot of people it can be very dry and boring for sure. I'm sorry to hear that, Redacted. I am sorry to hear that. But I mean, the funny thing is, you describe it is a choose your own adventure story happening. So I agree with that part. But I find it interesting that you didn't find it interesting, and I'm curious if I'd be curious to hear what decisions and stuff you made, and I'm curious to hear why it was so dry. Because like you can go to war, you can get assassinated, all kinds of crazy stuff can go down. But hey, thank you very much for dropping by and for the kind words as well. I appreciate it. Glad to hear when people enjoy the content on the channel. A concurring opinion is in certain legal systems a written opinion by one or more judges of a court which agrees with a decision made by the majority of the court. So what's the point of filing a concurring opinion? And then was that an escalation going from the High Court to the Supreme Court? Or why would there be a concurrence of opinion? I'll look at that after the stream and try and understand what actually went down there. No, haters is a strong word. It's fair to have it's fair to not enjoy. Everybody won't enjoy everything. But not enjoying something doesn't immediately make you a hater. You just didn't enjoy it, and that's perfectly fair. And again, this is a very different type of game as well. We haven't had this type of game at this scale, for a very long time, and I'm glad that we do, because it has been, again, for me and for folks who like these kinds of games, it's been a fun ride. But yeah. I get what you're saying, Omkarj. Because of, I guess, anecdotal experience, I'm very picky when I drop the word hater. Personally, I was gonna get not technically married, but our spin on it in October. But with this, we'll be waiting too. I'm sorry to hear that, K Percy. It's a bit of a bummer, right? But hey, I guess that's more time for planning and stuff, right? more time for planning. We're finally looking at having vaccines for general public. Not just, oh wow, really? Only now, Sam? Damn. Okay. Good luck, man. That is wild. That is wild. Honestly, though, my heart goes out to everybody who's still dealing with this more than dealing with this at all. Really, it's a pain. It is a pain. The General Staff is convened at the Ministry of Defense today to assess the security conditions of Sordland. More than 20 high-ranking officers were in attendance and discussed several war plans, the internal stability of the nation, and the overall state of the armed forces. All right, fantastic. Let's deal with, fine, let's deal with Towman first. We should be responsible. Yeah, I'll look into it, Spindle, for sure. I was just like, wait, why does a judge has to agree with another judge in order to do what? Like, for what purpose? Is that, again, unless it's an escalation. Like, I would understand it if, like, the High Court came to a consensus that it had to be, escalated to the Supreme Court, then, okay, I guess I understand that. But that case was already headed to the Supreme Court, if memory serves me right. Classified says, one judge is the main judge. They have to vote on the winning side and write why they voted that way. The concurrent writing is another judge who voted on the winning side on why they voted that. Okay, so a concurrent writing is like seconding a motion, basically. Like someone puts forth their decree, their judgment, and then one of the other judges comes through and says, yes, I agree with that, and here is why. And then what happens? And then what, is it being appealed over here, and that's why the case is going to continue? How do you can't appeal to the Supreme Court, right? Because where do you go next? Or do you just kind of like do an endless loop of appeals? There's got to be a limitation to that. I'm only so versed in legalese. I mean, look, I've watched The Devil's Advocate. I've watched My Cousin Vinny. I've watched I've watched quite a few. It's one of my favorite genres of film, actually, like court drama stuff, Runaway Jury, and all that kind of stuff. But I only know so much. Jokes aside, I like to have that like to have their opinion noted in legal means. That makes sense. No, I understand. That makes sense now. Thanks for that explanation, yeah. Or it could be a higher judge agreeing with a lower court's decision. That makes sense as well. I guess if the Supreme Court was like agreeing with a high court decision, I guess. Does that happen? The real concurrence should be that all the judges agreeing with the president. There it is. There it is. Yeah, I guess it's for maintaining records and stuff like that. A judge that voted on the losing side can write, there is normally one on why they voted differently. That is interesting. I did not know that. So a short version, concurrence opinion is an opinion of a judge who voted in agreement of the majority for different reasons to the majority. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna look into this afterwards. I love coming across interesting new like concepts and terms and stuff. So I'm gonna look into this after the stream today. Thank you. I arrived at the cubic building that housed most of the military command that resided in Hallsword. The gray and brutalist structure looked daunting. I never liked this building. It always made me feel like I was standing under the concrete foot of a giant getting ready to crush me. Yeah, that's brutalism for you. It made me feel small, and I never quite got used to the feeling even after this many years. At the entrance, I was greeted by Joseph and his military entourage of young officers. Welcome to the Ministry of Defense, Mr. President. Let's go to my office. What, no salutes? What is this? We walked from corridor to corridor to reach the office. On the way, we were met with high-ranking officers as well as privates. Every time one of these soldiers saw me, they stopped and saluted me. That's how it's done. When we finally arrived at Joseph's office, his entourage saluted us and left. He closed the door and took a seat. Where's Vulcan? I mean, I think we know that they don't see eye to eye. I think we know that they don't really agree with each other. It's not so much about getting along, but I think we know what's happening over here. We're not stupid. The newspapers are also just recently reminding us of all the coups and this, that, and the other thing. So let's play along. Let's play along. Yeah, I feel like we should go with 2 over here. The way it is with the courts I'm familiar with, says Halthor, there's a majority judgment passed. After that, every judge has the right to make his own case for the way he voted, both if he was against it or with it. Oh, I see. So there must be a degree of like PR involved there. And if it's something that comes up again in court, they can look back. Right, like that. Like looking back at the precedent, looking back at like what other judges have said, so that future judges can rule according to past precedents that have been set, I guess. It's interesting stuff. Alright, this must be something serious, especially since you invited me here. It is important that you don't get misinformed on this matter. Vulcan has another agenda. He leaned back and interlocked his hands. That is a serious accusation. The situation with Rumburg is getting worse, and if it wasn't for our investments in the military, I would be even more concerned. Okay, I'll make sure it won't come to that. We're prepared for the worst, aren't we? Or your tone doesn't inspire confidence in our defensive capabilities. Let's not criticize his tone so much. Let's inquire. Let's inquire. True, Spindle, true. I guess I was being a little, what's the word? Cynical when I said PR. But for academic and scholarly purposes as well, yes. We're prepared for the worst, aren't we, Yosef? Truthfully, not fully prepared. We're still going through a few changes in the military to be able to confront them if such a day was to arrive. Our efforts to restructure the military should prove beneficial in a potential conflict. We would never be able to match the force of Rumburg on equal terms. Therefore, our switch of the military to a smaller, well-equipped, and autonomously led combat units will prove better in the field. It sounds like adjacent to guerrilla warfare to overcome, greater numbers and probably greater technology as well, right? You're doing a fantastic job. The military is in good hands. I trust that you'll defend the country if it comes to the worst, or I'd rather prevent a war altogether. That's not true. In fact, a war would allow us to extend our emergency powers. I don't know. I guess to a degree, I would rather avoid war. War brings instability, and instability brings a lack of prosperity. War brings trouble. It doesn't matter if you're a despot. We're not a warmonger. We're not jingoistic. Well, we're not passive either. This is a weird one. What do you guys think? I mean, look, if war drains resources, and there is no value in being the despot of a, forsaken country, right? It doesn't matter if you're the king of nothing. And war is good for the industry. That is true. War is good for the military-industrial complex. War is also a great way to take care of political dissidents. Every time we talk about war in this game, lately especially, I get that System of a Down song stuck in my head. 2 shows an extra amount of trust between 2 men who understand war. That's true. That's true. He doesn't need to know that I'd rather prevent a war altogether. That's not his purview anyway. Like, what's he going to say to that? You raise a good point. What's he going to say to that? I'd rather prevent a war altogether. He's going to say, okay, but don't be naive. And you know what? He'd be right. He'd be right. It's like, it takes 2 to tango, at least, when a war kicks off. It doesn't matter if I want to prevent a war if somebody else is going for it. So you're right. Let's yeah, I trust that you'll defend the country if it comes to the worst. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. So we're on the same page. So I guess I could have said I don't want it to come to war. As a result of the recent deal with Welland, we've started reinforcing the border. Forward scouts have been deployed and we've started moving our divisions. Rest assured, we are ready for anything that'll come from the other side of the border. We'll be providing our reports to you. Unfortunately, it's the quote-unquote wrong border. War is only good if you win, and win quickly. Other than that, not so much. Yes, even if you win over the course of a very long time, not so good. Not so good. War can be a drain. It can be a good, quick, sudden burst to industry and to coffers if you're like, enacting like war taxes and stuff. But and again, so just to be clear, in case it wasn't clear, war is bad. Obviously, I'm speaking from the perspective of a despot who is trying to take advantage of situations to come out best for themselves. Just to be clear, war never changes. See, I always go with war. War has changed from Metal Gear Solid 4. ID tagged guns in the hands of ID tag. I don't remember the intro. I need to replay that game. God, I love Metal Gear Solid. How's it going, CJ? How's it going? War brings territory if you win. Well, and then you got to manage that territory, right? Annexing a territory isn't as easy as most video games make it seem. I feel like Europa Universalis does some of the best work of it in showing like making a newly annexed province a core, getting the people of that province to actually accept you as their new liege. I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like EU4 is the game that's come closest, at least in my experience, to trying to represent that. Flussin19, how's it going, buddy? Having a good day, I hope. All right, let's continue this conversation over here. We're providing reports to you. I don't think we'll have any problems. Stay alert. I don't want anyone in. Do not let a single deserter pass our borders. Try to be lenient if possible. God, no. So go with 2. I say we go with 2. Yeah. I don't want anyone in. Do not let a single deserter pass our borders. War can unify Calradia. Oh no, don't even trigger some PTSD here. Those are a lot of wars. Yosef and we have history in not letting people pass. This is true. This is true. No, Ted Knight, goddamn. The annexation, I mean the post-annexation process of like coring and cultural acceptance and all the rebellions and stuff that come out of it if you annex too much territory at once. God, I love EU4. I gotta play EU4 again. It's been some time since I played that game. I really like Europa Universalis. I hope we get EU5 sometime soon, especially with how they treated CK3. All right, I don't want anyone in. Do not let a single deserter pass our borders. We won't, Mr. President. Yosef cleared his throat. Let's move on to our main topic. The mandatory conscription law has become a matter of discussion, and we need to strike a decision whether to keep it or remove it. The facts are that the conscription gives us a large reservist pool that can cover a larger front line, but these troops lack the morale and quality to be offensive elements. It is the last step remaining to switch to a modern professional armed force. Our restructuring is hindered by 100,000 cadets, extending our logistics, slowing command structure, and reducing the combat efficiency of our experienced units. You only go as fast as your slowest soldier, I guess, right? You're only as strong as your weakest link. Yeah, the next time I play Bannerlord, it's not going to be Total Conquest. I've learned my lesson. What do you guys think? Again, the numbers help, but to Yosef's earlier point, right? Modernization is the method of the future. Ergo, its term, modernization. But especially if you're going to be dealing with a force that's larger than yours anyway, you need to be much more efficient. You know, some idiot who's like trying to get their clip in backwards on their gun, or somebody who doesn't know how to maintain their weapon and their weapon's like jamming in the middle of an operation. Like, you can't have that when you already have such few resources. You know, I think we should. I think we should get rid of the mandatory conscription. It'll cause a little bit of unemployment. That's the downside. Not much, Siraj. How's it going, buddy? Having a good Friday, I hope. Large and in charge, not modern and in charge. Wait, hang on a second. We need allies anyway, and a modernized army can only make us stronger. Lose conscription, says Jazby. We don't want a faltering front line. Yeah, true. Trust only motivated soldiers. Yeah. Can't just throw bodies at the problem. Yeah. Just chilling, sitting in class. All right, sounds good, sounds good. I'm glad you could join us. Glad you could join us. Plus, it'll give our business a pool of fresh faces to employ. True, true. Maybe they. Oh, you know, true. They can go in and help with the private healthcare and all that. But no, for sure. And Vulcan's just gonna provide the. We would assume that Vulcan would just provide the opposing opinion, and we already know the decision we want to make. If they are a hindrance, then we should remove mandatory conscription. By the way, folks, just let me know really quickly if you can hear the soft humming or buzzing sound coming in the background right now. Hopefully not. There's some slight construction going on outside, and as much as I can try and isolate the sound in this room, there's not much I can do about something that causes so much vibration. So just let me know. I just want to know for knowing's sake, so I can adjust, and I can let go of that thought in my head. It's bothering me. A whole bunch of small marbles will scatter before a slightly larger marble when it's rolled at them. Wow, that's a very compelling analogy. But, I like it. I like it. Audio's good, so you can't hear that humming in the background? Oh my god, that makes me so happy. That makes me so very happy, honestly. Morale is important. Halthor says World War II Soviets would disagree. I was gonna say it's like you can definitely throw bodies at some problems. Endless flood. No soft buzz. Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. I can't even explain. Okay, great. Now I don't have to think about it. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for answering that. Yeah, if they're a hindrance, then we should remove mandatory conscription. We need all of our resources concentrated on our efficient units that'll outperform the enemy in our mountainous terrain. That's actually a good point as well. That those are wasted resources, right? And fighting on mountains is no joke. With low oxygen and with the thin air and stuff, mountain fighting. I've read a lot about historical wars that have taken place in the 70s, so close enough, right? In the 60s and 70s, that have taken place in mountainous regions, and you hear about how nightmarish the conditions are, and you can just imagine it if you've ever been on a hike, too high above sea level. Imagine that, except someone's trying to kill you on the other side. Bella, how's it going? Hey, it's been some time. How's it going? Glad you could drop by. Yeah, I feel like we are going full guerrilla, yeah. The choice is up to you, he says. I thought I made my choice clear already. I thought for a moment before making any decision. I mean, yeah, I made my decision, Yosef. I was with you. You don't have to add, I'm already on your side. Yeah, remove mandatory conscription. It is time to have a professional force of willingly enlisted soldiers. And you know what? I feel like this ties in nicely with our sense of nationalism and patriotism as well. So it's just like we, would enlist ourselves. We trust that every Swordish citizen would enlist, because why wouldn't you want to fight to defend your nation and all that kind of stuff, So yes, remove mandatory conscription. Let's do it.
Sergio, how's it going, buddy? Having a wonderful Friday. I hope I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Halo jumps are not easy. Slightly higher altitude than I meant initially, but yes, agreed. Though, hey, Tom Cruise can do one, apparently. Sure. The new changes will be implemented as you wish. A strong knock on the door was heard, and the chief of the armed forces, Vulcan Kruger, walked in quickly with a frown. What is the meaning of this? Joseph? Why haven't I been invited? What's going on here? You're overstepping and interrupting a personal meeting between me and the president. Vulcan deliberated the situation. I see what's going on here. I mean no disrespect, but I'm leading the ground operations, and I must be informed of any strategic changes. He does. That's a good point. He does have a point. I mean, I could say, well, hey, you're here. What's your opinion? And then ignore him anyway, right? And just be like, yeah, okay, cool. We heard your opinion, and you're so wrong. Saying Vulcan has a point takes away all the goodwill we just generated with Yosef. I feel, you know. Thousands of conscripts just got a text. You can go home now. No, they arrived at the barracks and there was a little paper stuck on the wall telling them to go home, so they can commute all the way back home instead. Why give them warning ahead of time when you can give them warning afterwards? But yeah, well, now that you're here, what is your opinion on conscription? Exactly. It's simple, brings them into the discussion, makes them feel heard. The matter is rather simple from my point of view. Our forces have gone large structural changes, changing the operational capabilities and tactics. However, at the end of the day, Runeberg has a larger army, air force, and navy. Our conscripts will fill the much-needed weaknesses we have. Wow. That line seems familiar. Throwing bodies at a problem never solved it. Not sure if this is the right approach. Let's go with 2. 3 is almost like calling him an idiot, you know? 3 is like don't be naive, you know? Whereas 2 is like, okay, I've heard your opinion. We're not on the same page. We need to modernize. Like, I feel like 2 is the way to go. Classified, don't you fire me at the end of the day. You do it at 9 a.m. for real, right? Would you rather be fired on a Friday or on a Monday? There's a lot of theories on like there's a lot of like HR theories on like when's the best time to fire somebody. Is it before the weekend, so they have the weekend to decompress, or is it on after the weekend, so they're not like, you know, like they're not losing a weekend to dealing with what just happened. It's funny. It's like there's a whole school of like thought and conversation about that. We don't share the same opinion. This is a modern age and requires a modern army. Sorry, I'm quick to distract today. I apologize. That settles it then. I would ask you to consider. No, I am content with the decision. Alright, then we can move on. We also have to decide how exactly we spend our additional remaining funds in the military. In June, we decided to upgrade the equipment of our military. The military thanks the administration for the extensive support, especially in creating a modern fighting force. We need to decide what branch we want to modernize more. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Army, Air Force, or Navy. I'm curious. Air superiority goes a long way. In mountainous terrain as... trying to think about 50s air tech and what makes most sense, you know? Classified, coming in with a super chat over here, sacrificing minions. Is there anything it can't solve? A good question, a powerful question, something to ponder. Thank you very much, Classified, for that super chat. As you very well know, really helps support the channel and the streams, keeps all this stuff sustainable, alive, and running smoothly. So I appreciate it greatly. Thank you very much, bud. We got some calls for Navy, we got some calls for Air Force, Air, Naval. Yeah, against Runeberg, I don't think the Navy would be very helpful. I don't think naval support can go that far. It's the 50s, so I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I guess I don't think we're not going to be firing tomahawks from here to hit anything in Runeberg. I don't think that kind of range exists, right? Like, what was the flight time from Hallsword down to Welland? It was like, what was it, like 3 hours or something? I can't remember now. I don't think we'll be launching an assault. The Navy could help us defend ourselves, I guess, right? If we were to get a more powerful Navy. But the Navy is really, if we're going to try and, I think, get more involved with Helgiport. I don't think the Navy's the right call. I feel like the Air Force or the Army is probably the right call. And I'm seeing a lot of calls for air. I'm going to ask them first. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to ask them for their opinion because they're actually informed with the status of our military. But I just wanted to see what chat was thinking. Personally, I think I'm tempted for the Air Force, or towards. I'm inclined. Inclined. Because airplanes inclined. Anyway, I think I'm on board with the Air Force personally because I think like air superiority goes a very long way. You can scout. You can, carpet bomb. You can, like, what are our capabilities? Which branch requires the modernization the most? Strategically speaking, the Army would be the safest choice. However, the air and naval forces would do well with further modernization too. Which branch should we modernize? Bro, thank you. Wow, such a helpful. Oh my god, that wasn't helpful, but you know what is? Alexandra Sig coming in with a super chat as well. Party. I've been watching your Planet Zoo ever since you started, and it's gotten me hooked on many of your games. Keep it up, please. Thank you very much for the kind words, Alexandra, and I'm really glad to hear that. It always makes me really happy, especially to hear folks come in through like a specific game and then enjoy more on the channel. That really makes me happy to hear. So thank you very much, and again, thank you so much for the support as well. As I was just saying, it really helps support the streams, the channel in general, just keeps it all possible. So I appreciate it greatly. Thank you very, very much for that super chat. Okay, now the construction sounds are changing and getting louder, so I really hope those aren't carrying through. I don't recall this question at all from when I last played, but air sounds good for modern and less people. Well, that's also a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. One bomb dropped from the sky can do more damage than one man with a rifle, potentially, arguably, as long as it's a question of accuracy and efficiency, I guess. This question only comes up if you put more money into the military, so maybe that's why you haven't seen it before. Or it could have been added after some of the patches or something. Air Force, rain death on Roomberg. Oh, god damn it, I love it. I love it. I love it. That might tip me over off the fence into the Air Force. You know what? Yeah, I think I'll go with the Air Force. Rain down hell. Oh. Well, your username there is Aces Above, so I feel like there's at least some bias there. Nah. Modernize the Air Force. We need a better Air Force. As you wish. The changes will be implemented this month and finished at the end of November. It's weird to have the game reference a month without ever telling us what the date actually is. It's like, what does that mean? How far away are we from November, right? Thank you for listening. Okay, that's good. At least Vulcan does feel heard. And I'm gonna salute them. We're soldiers here. I saluted. Vulcan and Yusuf saluted back. I left the Ministry of Defense and returned to the Maroon Palace. Did I return via train? Oh, damn. Oh, whoa, hang on. What the hell, man? We got like 10 newspaper articles. Things are updating here. We got like all these pings. Okay. That was a lot. Simon Thompson, how's it going? Was chat acting up for you as well? Because you're not the only one. Spindle was having trouble with the chat earlier as well. But we can see you now. Hey, good spot. Budget is +1, but the economy is a little bit worse. But the budget is +1. Hey, that's good. Holy crap. Something caused a recovery, so that's nice. Oh, that makes me so goddamn happy. I'm so stressed out about the budget. It's just nice to have a positive budget. All right, what's going on over here? The military. Lack of reservists. I don't like that that's in red. The military has a clear lack of reservists, reducing the recruitment pool during wars. But we have a modernized Air Force. After a large modernization effort, the Air Force of Sordland is able to rival most air forces, if not all. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a huge leap. That's a huge leap. I like it. Oh my god, classified. I'm surprised Purple Rain hasn't been referenced yet. Okay, that's okay. Hey, you know what? I'm really pleased with that modernization effort then. I think air superiority will hopefully determine any war that happens in this region in the near future. The journal is obviously just updating our military decisions. And the codex over here, what are you changing? Organizations, governmental, Sordish armed forces. What have you updated? The Sordish military perceives itself as a guardian of Solism, wartime chief, blah, blah, blah. Something changed here. I wonder if it's this, about us being the 5th largest standing military force. It must have been something minor. I don't see anything added to the bottom or anything like that. But either way, good stuff. Let's see what these issues are now. Oh yeah, lack of conscription I think does give you budget. Yeah, because we're saving on all that equipment and stuff, right? That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. It's at least past June in the game. Why? What makes you say that? I'm curious if I missed something that makes you say that. Aces above, yes. Economy dropped by 1 step, but at least with a positive budget, there's hope for that yet. And with the train about to start running, there is hope. Crackdown on labor union. 3 leaders of the labor union of Sordland were arrested in Volgan today for their ties to the Red Youth. The authorities said a group of workers tried to stop the arrests and were subsequently detained along with the union. And we're back. We're back. We should be back. We're back. Where'd you guys lose me? Sorry about that, folks. Again, it's just we lasted longer that time, so there's that. And you know what? I'm just gonna exit the desktop and drop back in. When it doesn't happen in the middle of a conversation, I can save and exit to desktop and hop back into the game. So that's good at least. No, the game didn't crash. My Streamlabs is acting up lately, and I've been trying to figure it out, but I can't troubleshoot it until I go back live again, because it's been very unpredictable. But we're fine. We're fine. We're back now. A temporary setback. It does suck though, because we had 50 people watching, and then all of a sudden the stream crashes, and of course people go, "Oh, I guess it's over now." It's a bit of a bummer every time it happens. Sorry, catching up with chat over here. Yeah, where did you guys lose me? When I said detained, it stopped. Oh, okay, fair enough. So that's not too bad then. All I was saying was that good. I'm glad that we're tackling these issues, but then I was reading about the union reminded me to check out what Halthor was saying. Been laid off once in my life from a project that I was approached to join, convinced me to come over with a raise, worked my ass off to finish at the old job. Then the project didn't pan out, and they laid me off 3 months later on New Year's Eve. Dude, that's some nonsense. Yikes. That's some nonsense. And Bella, exactly. Probably a plot by the communists. It might be the Bloods at work. Could be anything. But we are back now. We are back now. All right. So that's that taken care of. Let's go ahead and... Oh, hey, Volgan. The name of this place is Volgan. Very close to Vulcan. Jen. What's going on, Jen? Rally despite emergency. Hey, hang on now. Chief of Police Carl Greaser reported that earlier today, hundreds took to the streets to protest the Volkslandian government's actions in the Markian Sea, despite the state of emergency. Authorities warned protesters to disperse immediately and that the rallies could be infiltrated by the enemies of the state. The crowd dispersed after the warnings of the local police force without incident. You know what? I can commend that. At least, I understand the urge to speak up, but you know, when you're reminded that you're breaking the law if you disperse, because you know that's how protests are supposed to work. Anrika, Women's Rights March. A group of demonstrators led by representatives from the Sordish League of Women marched in Anrika, calling for gender equality in Sordland's public education system. Women were also among the counter-protesters who argued for the right to keep educating girls separately from boys in order to preserve Sordish tradition. You want some equality? Where is the police attacking this this congregation? Let's shut this nonsense down as well, right? Just like we shut that protest down. It's something's coming. I mean, again, Monica might kill us in our sleep or something, you know, in a couple episodes. No kills today yet, Omkar. No kills today yet. It was me, says K Percy. Oh no, K Percy, how could you? How could you? Let's start with. There's a lot of news. Let's start with the Hallsword Post. All the way to the bottom. I can't believe there's a Boys to Men reference in this game. Anton Rain, the President of Law and Order. As Sordland took its steps into the abyss, President Rain had declared a national emergency and prevented the downfall of our nation. A dangerous fire was lit up inside Sordland, throwing it into chaos and anarchy. The president has prevented the fire from spreading and burned our nation to the ground. Okay, that's a very weird. A lot more typos are coming, are coming up in this playthrough. I'm not the only one who feels that way, right? I didn't need to stop this much for typos in our first playthrough. So this is kind of this, and this is a big typo too. The president prevented the fire from spreading and burned our nation to the ground is not what happened. What they mean to say is the president has prevented the fire from spreading and burning our nation to the ground. However, it is not over yet, for we need not only to prevent it from spreading, but we need to extinguish it entirely. Thus, the president has extended the national emergency decree to accomplish just that. Do not listen to the radical lefts, for they have been ruining Sordland's tradition and culture with their dangerous and destructive ideas. So far to say, they are inciting treason and revolts during a time where the country is in dire need of security and peace. Trust and believe in Anton Rain, your president, the person you voted for. What is the grammar over here as well? Who wrote this? Is this intentional? Like, is this, what happened here? is it because we're what, in bed with this paper or something? They're trying to punish us. They're undermining us through nefarious ways, like these horrendous this grammar and stuff. What's going on here? Trust and belief, indeed. Wow, there is a reference, CJ, that I did not expect to see ever again, really. Unless it was coming out of my own mouth. Now I have that song stuck in my head. Everyone with better spelling has been imprisoned. Yeah. Ghosts of Tsushima. People accept doing a bad thing, but only people accept being a bad guy. What's that? True, yeah. It's hard to think of yourself as a bad person, for sure. Absolutely. We all think we do the things we do for the right reasons, unless we're inherently evil, like a biblical evil, you know, doing bad for the sake of being bad, or doing bad for the sake of doing bad, and being truly evil. Most of us do the things we do because we think they're the right thing to do. Most of us. Supreme Court to review the constitutionality of the emergency decree. Hey, there's nothing to review here. Yesterday morning, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Orso Hawker, has announced that the court has accepted to review Man, this is really starting to get a little frustrating, I'm not going to lie to you. A little frustrating. Just a touch. Just a touch. It's like, here we go again. You know? And the same ordeal again with the game not popping up. Oh, it's frustrating. Okay, we are reading the Hallsword Post, Supreme Court to review the constitutionality of the emergency decree. Okay. It's okay. At least this game is like quick to load and stuff. Sorry, folks. Sorry for this experience. It's not ideal. I don't like that it has to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. I'm going to find a solution. I just got to figure out what that solution is. I'm hoping this clean wipe will do the trick. Again, I tried the uninstall, reinstall. Maybe there's something in like the cache or something like that. I don't know. But we'll get it figured out. Nah, we got this. Hopefully this bout will last, you know, a full hour. At least 40 minutes. Come on. Sam Hampton, you gotta go? One sec. I want to hit resume there. Wake up at a reasonable hour so I can work and interact with my friends. Sounds good, buddy. So I take that to mean that you gotta go. In which case, thank you for dropping by, though, and have yourself a decent bit of rest. Thanks for coming through. I'm still cutting in and out. That's gonna be on. That's on like YouTube's end. So hit refresh and you should be back. Can't hear a thing. Really? No, it's not a Twitch or YouTube problem. It's the software problem. It's not about YouTube. This is not a YouTube thing at all. Try refreshing if you're still having trouble. But yeah, this is as easy as it is to often blame YouTube. This is not a YouTube thing. It would be unfair to blame them for this. This is a streaming software issue that I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. Okay, so I'm a little worried about this going so far, truth be told. But despite the Supreme Court allowing the emergency decree to come into effect, a year later, Richter's complaints have reached the court. The case filed by Richter points out that the decree was a breach on the rights of freedom defined in Article 100 of the Swedish Constitution. It is unclear whether the Supreme Court will actually reverse the very decree that they have previously reviewed. However, if the court delivers a verdict in favor of the case, the president will most likely be held accountable for unconstitutional behavior, which is strictly forbidden by the Constitution. Yeah, I would imagine so. That makes me a bit nervous. I feel like we're going to have to play, play a game over here, so to speak, of politics with the members of the court now, and that's going to be a pain. Sounds good, Sam. Thanks for coming through again, and do have yourself a wonderful night's rest, I suppose, and enjoy the VOD when you're watching it. I do hope there's 40 minutes of it left over when you're watching the VOD. Have a good one, bud. Boys to men. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Althor, oh my god. You got me there. Almost got me there, I should say. I didn't read that second half. Boys to men, not without conscription. Sound the death knell for one of Sordland's proudest traditions. President Anton Rain has just removed the country's mandatory conscription requirement. We can therefore prepare not only for a smaller army and decreased defense capabilities, but also for future generations of young men who have no idea how to hold a gun or follow marching orders. This newspaper's male staffers remember their time in the army as one of their most cherished formative experiences. It remains to be seen how Sordish boys will develop a sense of national identity and self-determination without it. It's so weird. One article they're singing our praise, and the next article they're poo-pooing one of our decisions. It's like, come on, be on board. Sordland today has this to say: the president extends the decree as the country continues healing. Earlier this week, President Anton Rain had declared an extension to the emergency decree. The decision was supported by the Chief Justice Hawker himself, as he explained that our nation has not been completely healed yet. The decree aimed to defend Sordland from threats coming from both inside and outside the country. For so long, our nation has been influenced and schemed against by unseen forces. The president's decisive actions put a stop to that and brought law and order back to Sordland. That's what I'm talking about, see? Now that's good journalism. That's good journalism. What do we got over here? Lackhaven Times, emergency extended with pushback from the cabinet. The decree emergency... What are you, a French paper? The emergency decree has been extended as declared earlier in the week by the administration. The controversial decree has been the talking point in the assembly over the past month, with the head of PFJP, Franz Richter, saying that it was unconstitutional and undemocratic, while the court and the NFP's head, Kisaro Kibner, are in agreement with the decision. The extension is facing similar backlash from the Minister of Justice, Ms. Morgana, and others. While Chief Justice Hawker expressed his agreement with the decision, as he explained that the country has not fully recovered yet, okay, like, I've sung the praises of this game a lot. So when I give criticism like this, it comes from a good place, and it comes from a place hoping for improvement. But as great as the writing in this game has been 9 out of 10 times, there are some serious issues with the writing. It almost feels like the developers didn't expect players to go down this path, and so they didn't as thoroughly vet and proofread some of these sections. The consistency with which we have issues is starting to become noticeable, where, like, look, when you have hundreds of thousands of lines of text, it is very difficult to proofread. It is very difficult, especially as you get familiar with the text. It's hard to spot the errors. But, like, exactly, like, decree emergency, like, that's a big one. That's a big one. In fact, one of the methods of proofreading is to read things backwards, because you're more likely to spot issues if you're reading backwards, because your brain isn't filling in blanks. Because if you're reading forwards, your brain will often be like, oh, there should be an article there, or there should be, whatever there, and your brain will automatically read correctly. So often you're told to read backwards to proofread because you'll notice a missing word that way. And it's almost like emergency decree works backwards, but forgot to make sure it works forwards. But no, the decree emergency, we had the exclamation mark comma from, the Hallsword Post. Over here, this is just like poor sentence structure. The extension is facing similar backlash from the Minister of Justice, Ms. Morgana, and others. While Chief Justice Hawker expressed his agreement with the decision as he explained that the country has not fully recovered yet. Where's the second half of the sentence? Well, there isn't one, because what it meant to do was say, the extension is facing similar backlash from the Minister of Justice, Ms. Morgana, and others, while Chief Justice Hawker expressed his agreement with the decision as he explained that the country has not fully recovered yet. This is one sentence, it's not two. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a rant over here, and I don't mean to come down too harshly, but it's become very evident over the course of today's session and like the latter half of the previous session that there's like less love and care, and I do hope that they come through and they clean some of this up, because some of the typos are definitely making things a little awkward, I guess, and like saying that I burned the nation down, you know, it's typo, but it literally changes the meaning of that sentence, going from Anton Rain has protected the nation from being burned down to Anton Rain burned the nation down. There's a huge difference there, and it's a bit immersion breaking, and it's become too repetitive, like too problematic now. Anyway, I won't repeat myself any further. I needed to say that because I give compliments where they're due, but I also give feedback where they're due as well, right? You got it. What's my degree in? My degree is in design, actually, in specifically, I guess. Well, no, design. It's design. I shouldn't say specifically in anything. It's a broader scope, and copy and placing copy and typesetting is a part of that. Is a subset of that conversation, and so I guess that's probably where that comes from. Huge cutbacks on education. No good journalists left. You know, if that's the explanation, if the cutback. Was there a cutback? It was on education. If the cutback on education is the explanation for this, while it doesn't make sense because the people who are currently journalists didn't go through that reduced funding like education system, while it doesn't make sense from a timeline perspective, I will have a good chuckle and I'll say, okay, you know what? Fine. For the jokes, I will accept that as an explanation. Astro Reverb 9000. This is Suzerain, a text-based RPG where you play as the president of an ailing nation, and you have to try and rescue it from said ailments. The emergency decree does hurt the economy. Yes, it does. It does. So I'm just looking at chat real quick. Want to make sure I am caught up. Yeah, looks like I'm the Bladical. Yeah, we'll have to deal with them in a second, won't we? Where are we? Hold on. The extension also stroked a new tension. I'm sure it means stoked new tensions, and widened the rift between the left and right. Some are praising the president's decision, while others are condemning it as corrupted and a threat to democracy. However, only time will tell if the former or latter is true. On the topic of stroking, let's check out the radical, or the bladical, the blodical. What are we looking at here? It's time to save our democracy. Our very own dictator, Anton Rain, has extended the emergency decree imposed on our nation. There's nothing stopping him from doing it again and again until he gets what he wants: destruction of our democracy. How long can we continue to be fooled by the actions of a madman who yearns for more and more power? How long can we let him trample upon our freedom and rights? We call on all of you to stand up against this corrupt man. If we don't save our democracy, no one can. Caught with Desperados 3. Oh man, good times. Well, hey, thank you very much for the kind words. I'm glad to hear you enjoy the channel, and I hope you've been enjoying some of the stuff since then. Desperados 3, fantastic game. Such a fantastic game. Huge time sink. What a fantastic game. The day when you work in a marketing department and the proofreader calls in sick is not a good day. You've been there. Yeah, you need... Designers proofreading is always a bad thing because, again, you get very close to the work, and so you start missing issues. They're a good first set of eyes, but they should never be the last set of eyes before something goes to print, especially. Women march for equal education in Anarcha. In the conservative stronghold of Anarcha, protesters organized by the Swordish League of Women bravely called for gender parity in the classroom. Like us, these women hope that President Rain will use his time in office to fix Sordland's notoriously sexist public education system and give young girls the university preparation they sorely need, as opposed to housewife training. A small group of counter-protesters was also present, but drowned out by the cries for equality. I will, in fact, be changing this horrible public education system, and I'll be making it a private education system. You betcha. Are President Rain and his emergency in trouble? With an unexpected move, the Supreme Court has decided to review the legality of the ongoing state of emergency, which was declared by President Rain's emergency decree in the beginning of his term. Franz Richter has been pushing for the court to take this case for months with no avail until yesterday, when Chief Justice Hawker released a statement saying the Supreme Court had finally accepted the case. Despite the emergency's unconstitutionality being quite obvious, it is unlikely that the Supreme Court will deliver a verdict that would put President Rain in a precarious situation. I should goddamn hope so. The Supreme Court holds the authority to revoke the emergency. However, ruling the decree illegal would also mean finding President Rain guilty. If such a verdict is delivered, a way for President Rain's impeachment would be wide open. This will be interesting. Frog calling us a dictator. They shouldn't have. Such a nice compliment. True, true, true. They're giving us that's above our station for now, at least. Here we go, indeed, Jazby. I'm a little nervous about all this conversation about the Supreme Court. Freedom. Swordish boys no longer forced to fight. One of Sordland's most backwards traditions has finally been reversed. As of now, young men are freed from the requirement to join the Swordish army upon coming of age. High school boys are rejoicing in their newfound ability to enter university or the career of their choice upon graduating, while military analysts point out that President Rain's reversal of mandatory conscription will lead to a smaller but more professional army. We're just happy that those many young students who don't align with the government's aims will now no longer be forced to fight for them. I guess you could call that a positive article. Money-hungry, power-mongering maniac, that seems like a fitting description. Time to declare the Swordish Empire soon enough, indeed. Soon enough. Rights are only for the righteous. Oh dear. And which one is the righteous exactly depends on my mood. I love it. I do love it. WHR says Sordland's emergency violates human rights. I was going to say WHR, I'm not familiar with them. And then I read Watchtower of Human Rights. It's like, oh, maybe I should be familiar with them. Oops. The Watchtower of Human Rights has released a report on the ongoing state of emergency in Sordland. The WHR's fact-finding mission in the country has found evidence of crimes and breaches of international humanitarian law executed by the Swordish authorities. A year of emergency, which reinforced economic disintegration and social fragmentation in Sordland, have resulted in the arrests of thousands, forced around 5,000 people to flee their homes and reduce democratic freedoms, according to an Alliance of Nations-backed report by the Watchtower of Human Rights, released today on the catastrophic impact of the state of emergency. According to the WHR, security arrangements by Sordland's government to deal with the internal conflict triggered by the assassination of the famous poet Circus was fatally ineffective, and subsequent investigations into his death were prejudiced and mostly targeted the political opposition in Sordland. Yeah, that's because he's not just a famous poet, goddammit. The government should stop targeting peaceful demonstrators and the democratic opposition to bring Sordland fully into line with its human rights obligations, the chairman of WHR said. Throwing civilians in jail is no way to halt conflict or protest. I don't know, it's been working for us so far. That's the news dealt with. That was a lot of news to read. I feel like some of that would have triggered sooner, actually, because some of it was about the emergency decree and only some of it was about the military. All right. Oh, I was going to say it's time for a train ride, but no. There's another report. Supreme Court to review the constitutionality of the emergency. Yeah, this is making me very nervous. They should edit in stream chat. Oh, yeah. It's just so that you can't troll people, I guess. That's why they don't want you to be able to edit it. Chief Justice Hawker announced that the Supreme Court has accepted to review Franz Richter's complaints about the unconstitutionality of the state of emergency. I can't even say the word unconstitutionality. I'm so unfamiliar with that. I'm glad that at least, again, it's quick to relaunch this game. I'm glad that at least it is quick to relaunch this game. And I'm just going to get into the rhythm of relaunching it when I need to. I need to fix this before Monday. I can't. I can't. Yeah, a lot of falling apart. That was in 10 minutes, man. If it happens again in like 5-10 minutes, I might call it an early stream. Again, I apologize, folks. It really bums me out that it's been acting up like this. I can't keep going on. It's not internet problems. No, it's Streamlabs. My streaming software is acting up. It's like if it's not one thing, it's another. Like if it's not the internet, or if it's not renovations, or it's not. It's one thing or the other. And Streamlabs is acting up for some reason. I'll check it out. I think I'll do a full, complete reinstall of it. The nuclear option is formatting my computer, and I do not want to do that. I hate doing that. All right. I am glad that we didn't get into a conversation. Anything change in your HW? Oh, hardware lately? No, hardware's all the same as before the move. None of that's changed. It might be a software thing. Maybe I installed something that's conflicting with Streamlabs, and so maybe Streamlabs needs to be reinstalled to overwrite that. I don't know. We'll see. Streamlabs go burr. No, apparently Streamlabs doesn't go burr. I wonder if the women would still like to have equal rights if we were to send them to the front lines. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm trying to remember our first playthrough, because we did that. I don't think we were able to, like... I don't think that, like, them serving in the military was a part of the conversation, but I can't remember now, actually. Make sure to hit that like button for Party Dealing with Streamlabs. Oof. A hard ask, but I appreciate it. Alright, to the White Room in the Maroon Palace. We arrived in Hall Sword for the grand opening ceremony of the L1 high-speed rail. It was a proud moment for all of us. Simon and Gus, who heavily assisted the project, were with me along with Lucian to decide on how to proceed tomorrow. Lucian stood up. First of all, congratulations, everyone. To many more projects like this. Well done, everyone. We couldn't have done this without our excellent team. Indeed. Let's move on to our plans for the opening tomorrow. It's been a long time since the last successful infrastructure project. There's good reason to capitalize on the occasion. I have a plan on how to do that. If Mr. President accepts, driving the first high-speed train to Lackhaven would be great for our image nationwide. Oh no, I have Homer as a monorail conductor in my head right now from The Simpsons, and that's all I can imagine going down right now. Oh my god. Oh yeah, haven't changed any overclocking or anything either. That would be causing any issues. No, this will heal our economy. This will heal our economy. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. What are your thoughts? I think it's a good idea. Simon says, I don't support anything beyond the opening ceremony. Actions speak for themselves, anyway. I think rain on a train is a must-have, indeed. I see your point. But involving the President further could be beneficial for the administration. I think so, too. Mr. President, you know what? Simon's been outvoted, I suppose. I agree. There's much to gain. Very well. Sounds fantastic. The President arriving to Lackhaven on the driver's seat would make the headlines for sure. Additionally, a large crowd is invited for the ceremony and will be watching the opening speech. Like the good old campaign days. Sure, why not? Let's reminisce a touch. Things were certainly easier back then. Simon stepped in for a comment. On another note, it goes without mentioning that this was a team effort. Beginning with the President, who put his trust in me, I want to thank all who were involved in L1. Thank you for your kind words. It truly means a good deal. We had our disagreements, but the important thing was the outcome. Swordish people got what they needed for a long time. We will show our best face tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'll make sure that our message of improving the countryside will get across. All right then. We have a lot of work to do tomorrow. See you in the morning. Once again, good work, everyone. The team left, leaving the rest of the evening to prepare for the big day tomorrow. The next day, a stage had been erected inside the central station along the new electrified railway line. The sunny weather created a positive mood in the usually gray Hallsword. The crowd looked quite large, and I spotted many party members among them. We began moving towards the stage as the excitement was growing. Signal Lucian to begin the ceremony. We were all ready to begin the ceremony. I gave the green light, and the opening address began. Brothers and sisters of Sordland, I welcome you Hallswordians today as a proud servant of this country. Lucian's voice echoed in the central station. Thousands of Sordland and USP flags began to wave as the loud cheers intensified. Without further ado, I invite the President of Sordland to the stage. I moved up to the stage to address the crowd. The press was taking dozens of pictures. People of Sordland, citizens, Hallswordians. I'm going to say people of Sordland. That feels more in line with who we are. People of Sordland, welcome to the opening ceremony of the L1 high-speed railway. The chanting and excitement from the crowd intensified. A large group began singing the national anthem. Oh wow, I hope you're all standing at attention if you're going to do that. At the beginning of this journey, we promised jobs and opportunity. We kept our promise. Trust me, our work is far from over. The project is only the beginning of good tidings. Let's go with one. Let's fluff ourselves up a little bit, especially with how the news has been lately. Well, let's do a little bit of self-fluffing here. At the beginning of this journey, we promised jobs and opportunity. We kept our promise. I hear you, Frog. I hear you. But I feel like people need to be reminded that we are doing good for the nation as well, you know? Too much talk of this emergency decree in the news lately. The aim with the L1 railway was to improve development in rural areas and cities in between Hallsword and Lackhaven to create economic growth in the greater Hallsword and Gelsland region. Okay, or our intention was to serve our citizens who were having a hard time traveling between the major cities of Hallsword and Lackhaven. Oh, this is a tougher one. This is a tougher one, because I feel like the crowd would like to hear 2, but the businessmen who are watching this on their TVs and all that would like to hear 1. And though 1 is the truth, is that what we were going to say out loud? That's the question. Well, sounds good, Spindle. I will check that link out after the stream. I have a pretty wild... Oh, God, I have a crazy day ahead of me today, but I will check that out. And hopefully, Saturday I'll be able to chill a bit in the Discord and stuff. It's been a week. This week has felt like 2. Rain assassinated while conducting the L1. Oh no, I should hope not. I see a call for 1, a call for 2. A call for 3. Oh no. Yeah, we have to please the men who fill our pockets, so 1. Oh, no, I know, John. I know. I think Ghost knows as well. I gotta play Ghost of Tsushima. Let's go with let's go with 1. Let's go with 1. What are the people gonna do? What? Trample me? What? The aim with the L1 railway was to improve development in rural areas and cities in between Hallsword and Lackhaven to create economic growth in the greater Hallsword and Gelsland region. That appeals to people as well. Economic growth, rural areas, I think it touches on enough touch points. This railway brings down travel time by half. Traveling between Hallsword and Lackhaven is now faster and more comfortable. Railway brings thousands of new jobs. Many unemployed citizens have benefited and will benefit. I think we go with 2 over here. So 1 thing for the business conglomerates and 1 thing for the regular people, right? This railway brings thousands of new jobs. Many unemployed citizens have benefited and will benefit on the path of the railway. It's called a track, Anton. None of this would be possible without my colleagues with sound advice. Minister Gus Manger, please come over here. I took time off from my duties to personally manage. That's no. We have to thank the mind behind the railway project for it all. The esteemed Minister of Economy and Tax, Simon Hall, please come over here. Crap. I hate these ones where you gotta pick favorites. Where you gotta pick Minister of Economy or Minister of Rural Development. Oh man. Who do we want to? You know what, Gus. I think Gus is the one who didn't want this in the first place, right? Who was it that didn't want it? I think it was. We're also. Oh, I see a lot of calls for Gus to be called onto stage. Yeah, wasn't Gus the one who was all like not interested in this ceremony either? Sean, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it. Having a wonderful day, I hope. Gus is the Minister of Rural Development. I wish I could scroll up higher. I'm trying to remember. Simon, it was a team effort. It's like right above this. Right above this. I wish I could scroll just a touch higher. But you know what? I mean, I see 3 calls for 1. I guess I could go either way. Gus is the guy who's looking for our house, right? Ministry of Economy wouldn't be a bad idea. God damn it. Praise myself if I can't choose. That's gonna make some enemies for sure. You know what? Let's go with Gus. I see a couple calls for Gus. I'm gonna draw some hate from Simon for this, aren't I? Let me check something here. Who helped me invest in Anrika FC? Like the names are starting to like blend together a bit. All right, let's go ahead and oh great, now I've seen calls for 3. All right, screw it. You know what? My mind was saying 3, And I see enough calls for 3 as well. My apologies for the flip-flopping, folks, but let's go with this. We have to thank the mind behind the railway project for it all. The esteemed Minister of Economy and Tax, Simon Hall. Please, come over here. He's the guy who came up... Well, if he's the guy who came up with the idea, then maybe he should be... Ah, crap, Ren. Oh, just missed it. You just missed it. Damn, I wish I saw that earlier. Or I wish I flip-flopped for a minute longer. Damn it. Well, thanks for checking, Ren. Thanks for checking. It's okay. What are the chances we drag? No. Nothing. That was. I'm so glad. Thank you very much. But I just find it fun. The timing is hilarious on my part. I wish I, mulled over it a bit more. Simon walked up beside me. Thanks, Mr. President. I'm sure he says that begrudgingly. Our aim with this project is obvious: to improve the speed and efficiency of transportation. I'm sure each one of you will be proud of the achievements made during the project once we cut that ribbon, and you can get on that train yourselves. Simon mentioned the beginning of a Swordish economic recovery and the plans to stop the recession altogether. As the Minister of Economy, it makes sense for him to have this speech. I do see that Gus is the one that brings us the money, but hey, I guess we've had dealings with him, so he won't be too butthurt about this, I hope. Like, we've spoken to him, we came to many an agreement with him, we have a good relationship, so I hope he doesn't mind Simon getting this opportunity, you know? Lucian took Simon's place after he was done with his speech. Citizens of Hallsword, there you have it. As promised, Anton Rain, the 4th president of Sordland, has delivered. We moved towards the line where the first electric train was waiting. A red ribbon was hanging by the door of the train. Simon gave me a large pair of scissors to commence the opening while the crowd was watching. I cut the ribbon, which led to a huge wave of cheering from the crowd. Many flashes went off at the same time. Congratulations to all. It was a solid and fruitful effort, hopefully with much more to come. It's a good moment indeed. We've helped so many in the countryside. The train is prepared and ready. The journey to Lackhaven should take about 4 hours, and the rest of us will be in the carriage with you. I entered the cab and took a seat with the assistant beside me. The crowd was trying to catch a glimpse of me sitting as the driver of the train. That's a pretty good photo op, it really is. Who do you want to travel with in the cab, Mr. President? God damn it, I was hoping this would be avoided. I will drive the train on my own. Yeah, that's a good speech. I like trains. Now you have train. Hello, plebs, I give you train. You're welcome, bye. Just leave. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. You know, I think I'll drive it myself. You can't let anybody else take too much, be too involved in this moment. I'll drive this train on my own. Sure, we'll be in the other carriages. See you in Lackhaven. As we begin, the train crashes. Can you imagine? As we began driving the train out of the central station, the media took photos of me driving by myself with a locomotive assistant next to me. The new train was in pristine condition, and the electric engine made much faster acceleration possible while providing minimal noise and maximum comfort. After the relaxing 4-hour drive to Lackhaven, we were welcomed by celebratory citizens at Lackhaven Station. The railway officially opened to the public as soon as we arrived, and thousands began utilizing it. Today was a great victory for the administration. Beautiful. What's less beautiful is that the economy hasn't improved immediately. It might not be immediate. It might take might take a turn. It might take a couple of events before the economy actually gets affected by this. I mean, this stuff doesn't happen overnight, right? So hopefully, we're going to see some economic growth out of this. There's the L1 high-speed rail. The L1 high-speed rail is the first electric train line allowing faster commute between Hallsword and Lackhaven. We have average transportation links. The new infrastructure investment by the government has slightly recovered the transportation network connections. Okay, so there will be more to come, evidently. Get rain train on the side of the train. So, oh man, for real. You should just call it the rain train service once we truly become fully in charge. Once we become fully in charge. Looks like we were fine. Looks like no one died. We didn't crash the train. We're okay. What do we got over here? The Hallsword Post. President Rain opens L1 Railway. With a grand ceremony, President Rain has declared the L1 Railway open with his aides by his side and executives from Underhall Construction. After the ribbon cutting, he has delivered a heartfelt speech and brought attention to the capabilities of the administration. Following his speech, President Rain has driven a train on the new railway for the first time. The L1 railway is expected to boost the production in between the largest cities in Sordland, and has been happily welcomed by the citizens. What does the economist have to say? They've been quiet for some time, actually. Sounds good, Spindle. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for dropping by. Have yourself a wonderful dinner, I suppose it must be, and a wonderful night's rest, and a wonderful weekend thereafter. I'll be in the Discord myself this weekend. I need a break after this week, but today is still a bit of a hell day. But hopefully I will catch all of y'all in the Discord, as Spindle says. Don't hesitate to join in. There's the link in chat as well. It is a fantastic place to hang out, folks. Just wonderful people, having a wonderful time. Chilling, vibing. Don't hesitate to join in. But yeah, Spindle, thanks for coming through. Have yourself a beautiful Friday and beautiful weekend as well, bud. Another victory for Underhall. Underhall Construction once again proved their worth with the opening of the L1 Railway. This government-contracted mega-project aims to bring the much-needed logistics improvement between the two highest output cities in Sordland, Lackhaven and Hallsword. On the opening day, President Rain personally drove a train for the first time ever after a speech highlighting the opportunities this new logistics overhaul will bring. Good stuff. I feel like we made the right call there. Being the sole driver of the train, I think certainly put the spotlight on us and should do good for our image, I think. Briefing on the current economic situation. Oh dear. The team gathered in Hallsword at the Ministry of Economy to conduct an economy overview meeting to go over the current situation. The building was constructed in 1892 by Heron Walt, one of the, if not the most, famous architect in Sordland. The building looked simple and elegant, with a few of its signature domes spread out over the roof. Underhall, more like underrated. I love it, Jazzy Beat. Yeah, I think the budget surplus in the railway will help us out. I think this will go well for us. CJ, excellent. Let's enjoy that Discord. It's a fantastic. It's a great community. I'm so proud of it. It honestly brings a smile to my face every time I hang out in the Discord. And then it acts as a complete distraction as well, which is why I have to be careful, because I just love hanging out in the Discord. Walking through the large bronze doors at the entrance, I was led by two assistants upstairs into a meeting room. Everyone stood up as I entered the room, buttoning their suit jackets. Welcome, Mr. President. It's good to be here. Everyone took their seats. As you all know, today we'll go over our economic status. Let's begin without any further ado. How are we doing in terms of the infrastructure? The success of the first infrastructure project is already showing a positive effect on the economy. Mikhail started grinning as he leaned forward. Thanks to the high-speed railway, our two most important cities are linked faster. We're expecting quick economic growth in Greater Hallsword and Gelsland. The Business Council is satisfied with this infrastructure improvement. It was a gargantuan effort from our side in the Ministry of Economy. We can do much more to improve the economy, and we will, because our work is far from over. We've done enough platitudes. Let's get down to business, right? It's brass tacks now. We've done the platitudes during the ceremony and everything. Yeah, Mouse Click. How's it going, buddy? We do have a positive budget. I'm surprised to see green in that corner. I think it's because we stopped conscriptions. We can do much more to improve the economy, and we will, because our work is far from over. You are correct. The subjects of tax reform and many more await future debate. Well, let's hear the stats on our deal with Welland. Our trade deal with Welland has increased our imports and exports by 60% in 1 month, which is a considerably good number. Perfect. This was no gamble. This was perfectly considered. Regardless, the numbers are clear. I must say, I still can't get behind a trade deal with Welland, especially when it involved a military cooperation. I feel like we made a contract with the devil. We're reaping the benefits. What is done is done. I hope this was the right decision. We're reaping the benefits. We will come on top over here. What I'm worried about is not only about Welland, it's the other countries too. Increased trade has improved our economy. I see this as a reason for celebration. On a side note, consumer spending has decreased further due to the pessimistic mood caused by the issues with our economy. That's not good. I'm confident we will turn this mood around with adaptive projects and solutions. Positive vibes for this meeting, right? Let's think about the future, looking let's be optimistic about the future. We just succeeded. We just had a huge win. Let's carry that win. Let's carry that momentum from that win, you know? I'm confident we will return this mood around and with adaptive projects and solutions. Good to hear. We will do better. While I agree that our first attempts were not successful, we still might have economic opportunities left. It isn't good for our reputation as the people expected quick solutions. We're running out of time. Simon checked his large dossier. Some good news. We currently have a budget surplus. That means we can pursue many investments which would drive our economy upwards. I will present you the draft documents of economic expansion soon. That's excellent news. I agree. With the extra money, there is much more we can do. As for the latest data, unfortunately, the recession seems to be lingering. No matter the cost, we will have to increase our economic development rates. Otherwise, I'm sad to say that we will be doomed. We need to use the opportunities we are shown. Trade deals and infrastructure improvements always help. Do they? Because we just finished the railway. Mr. President, I will be very clear. Simon took off his glasses and put them on the table. He looked at me straight in the eye. You already know this, and I don't want to frighten you, but if we are unable to stop this recession, we're heading towards an economic catastrophe that has never been seen before in Sordland. No, in all of Eastern Mercopa. I can't even begin to imagine how we would survive that. None of us want to see the Swordish people starve while the state is unable to provide for its citizens. Then we need to get to work. Exactly. He put on his glasses. Now, there are a few methods to tackle the recession. Our surplus is a great reason to spend extra on new investment projects to push for further economic development in the future. I have prepared a few project proposals. There are two main distinctions in between these projects. It's either about continuing our infrastructure improvements or investing in increased production. If we continue on our infrastructure, that would lift us up to advanced country levels. However, our industrial production has suffered and also needs a boost to return to pre-recession levels. There is, of course, the option to not take any risks related to our budget. The plans for these projects will be finished soon. For now, I can provide preliminary information. Which one would you like to hear first? Okay, what are the projects that could improve infrastructure? Hopefully I can talk about both. But I'm curious. I'm not sure which decision I would take right now. You know? We did not get a trade agreement with Agenland, unfortunately. Only with Welland. Agenland dragged us up there and then told us that they didn't want to talk, which was rude, to say the least. What are the projects that could improve our infrastructure? For infrastructure, we have two projects. One is the Benfi International Airport, and the other is the Morna Port. Benfi is growing at a rapid pace and would benefit highly from an international airport. Much more money to be made there, too. The Morna Port will boost trade and improve the flow of goods towards Hallsword, because the Conriat port is too small in capacity and extension is blocked by the Navy headquarters. Okay. I worry about relying too much on waterways, given what's going on at Helgeland. Maybe Benfi isn't a bad idea. Again, we're just having a conversation here, right? Economic growth in Benfi could be propelled. It still has yet to reach its full potential. Benfi is rapidly developing, and there is much to gain from increasing its connectivity to the world. Imagine all the tourists that would arrive. Yeah, in this godforsaken country right now, it's falling apart because of riots and protests and everything. We must focus on improving the well-being of our worst citizens, and while Morna is no poor city, it very well deserves investment. Alright, well, what are the projects that could boost our production? For production, we have two projects. One is the Sarna Agricultural Zone, and the other is the Conriat Industrial City. I see the Sarna Agricultural Zone investment as a higher priority due to the fact that farmers in Bergia were the most hit by the recession. Sarna also is much poorer than Conriat. The Conriat Industrial City project has the potential to increase manufacturing in the greater Hallsword region by a large amount. I mean, we know who we care about, right? The folks who can afford to line our pockets. Conriat could benefit from a larger manufacturing industry. It would bring the city to a position where it could rival Lackhaven. We should invest and develop Conriat to diversify the economy in Greater Hallsword, which would mean a great deal. Manufacturing investments are the kind of investments we need for a healthy economy and our currency strength. Conriat is a developing city with a lot of potential, while Sarna and the Bergia region are lackluster. Okay, it seems like everyone's on board with Conriat, actually. I was expecting some pushback, but I have enough information. Very well. That covers our subjects for today. Do I have more questions? I don't think so. I have a couple more economy-related questions, just in case. I don't know what they could be. Maybe about trade, at most, I think. Well, actually, you know what, Mikhail, how's the mood at the National Business Council? The business leaders in the council are nervous about the lack of tangible economic improvements in the country. They're holding on to their investments until they feel it is safe to invest their reserves in new hires or branches. Okay. David, what can we expect in terms of our trade situation? I don't want to ask about our currency because I'm pretty sure that's bad news. Our success in reaching a trade deal has boosted our positions as regional trade route and increased the likelihood of potential trade partners. We have imported and exported more across the board with all countries except Roomberg. That's great. Thank you for the information. I know enough now. Thank you very much. That concludes the meeting. Have a good day, all. Goodbye. Until next time, Mr. President. See you soon. The meeting ended. And I feel pretty good about that, actually. I feel like, look, our economy is still not perfect, but we're getting there. We're getting there. The budget's in the green. We'll be able to invest in... I'm not sure what I would want to invest in. I got to think about that. Do we want to improve Benfi, the already burgeoning city? Do we want to do a production project instead? I'm kind of tempted to stick with... where was it? Stick with our transportation links. Okay, see, so this next project will take one of these into the green, I think. So I gotta think about that. I'm not sure which way I'll lean, but you know what? We've got time to think about it because we won't be tackling that until next time. Folks, this is where we're going to actually call the session today. I'm glad Streamlabs worked with us to bring us until until time. So thank you, Streamlabs, for cooperating. But folks, this is where we're going to call it a session. I hope you had a good time today, despite the technical difficulties again. If you did have a good time, please don't hesitate to hit that like button on your way out today. But yeah, I had a great time. I think this was a very productive episode. We got a lot done. A lot of with changes to our military, with this emergency decree stuff going down, and with the train finally running. That's very exciting to me. And you can see the red marks actually marking the high-speed rail versus the ones with only the black marks, which is like regular rail, I suppose. So it's really great to see that project completed. That's a huge step for us. And the economic meeting as well was relatively positive, I would say. Relatively positive, though we do have to, yes, work on this recession and this economic development. I'm really hoping that our next project, which might be at Benfi, I'm not sure, and next when it does come up, we'll discuss it in more detail. But I'm leaning towards the you know what, actually I don't know, because with production we could continue to improve this region like the railway did. We could continue to make this region more prosperous. So there's lots to think about, folks. Lots to think about. Disco Elysium delay confirmed. Yeah, basically. I'm glad we survived. I'm glad we didn't get assassinated during that the rail like the ceremony there. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. Yeah, hopefully no derailments next time either. I agree, Bella. I agree. Thank you all very much for coming through today. I hope you had a good time. I see Ivalo already saying I'd say production. Yeah, might not be a bad idea. We'll see. We will see. A prosperous south might appease Lesbia. Oh, you're talking about the agricultural zone down south? True. I mean, they might like Benfi as well. Benfi would make us a bit more connected to them, and they have a direct connection to Benfi from Falenko over here. It's a major port, Benfi, so I imagine that's quite an important connection. There's lots to mull over for sure. For sure. But yes, folks, like I was saying, thank you all so much for coming through today. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. I hope you have exciting weekends planned, and I hope you have beautiful, beautiful weekends as well. Again, don't hesitate to join the Discord. It is a fantastic place to hang out, just some fantastic people to just chill with and vibe with. I'll definitely be spending some time in the Discord on Saturday. I got to get a lot done today, and then I just need to hit the reset button, basically. So Saturday, Sunday, I'm hoping to be on the Discord, just hanging out and just, doing a bit of a reset after this week. And maybe spend some time sleeping this weekend as well. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But folks, thank you very much. As I was saying, and of course, thank you to our super chatters today. And no session is truly over until we give a Massive thanks to all of our channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Again, y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big ol' thanks, as I was saying, to each and every one of you for watching. As I always say, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for each and every one of you. So thank you so very much for coming through, and hopefully having a good time as well. Cheers, folks. Again, hopefully I'll catch you in the Discord. If not, Monday we'll be back with Crusader Kings. Tuesday we'll be back with Phantom Brigade, unless Total War decides to get in my way again and make Monday a bit of an awkward day, in which case I might we'll see. They like Tuesday Newsday, don't they? But Tuesday we should be back with Phantom Brigade. There's a pretty intense situation there that I would like to resume. Yeah, it should be good times. Of course, like I said earlier, Humankind next episode is releasing in just about an hour's time, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you're interested in that. And just as a note as well, I released a video yesterday about the Solaris sale and a bunch of great deals on Solaris DLC as well that you might want to check out. But folks, that's enough of my rambling. Until I catch you next time, cheers.